Hey everyone, this is Hill Street Soul, and you're tuned in to the core with the Millennial Coach, discussing topics on real life. Check it out. Everywhere you go, don't forget the ghetto. Listen to the core.
Hey coaches, our final day on self-esteem, and I'm going to give you top tips on how to have radical self-esteem. We've had a week of different areas of self-esteem, and I think yesterday's piece was a little bit heavy in the respect of just abuse. Not something I like talking about, but it's what happens in this world that we're living in. So we need to acknowledge it. So I want to say thank you for staying. But I do think there's a lot that we can do in terms of improving our self-esteem. The first thing I do want to say is that life is short and you cannot get the days behind you back. Okay? Life is short. You cannot get the days behind us back. So you've got to take stock of knowing, okay, this is where I am and this is where I need to be. Okay? There's nothing wrong in that, but just be aware that you need to be able to grow from what you're doing and how you're doing it. Okay? So one of the key things is accepting that you have low self-esteem. And the reason being, you have a starting point. If you don't have a starting point, how do you challenge yourself? Okay, so start with accepting your self-esteem issues. You're not great at taking criticism. You're not confident in speaking up. You don't know how to ask for help. These are self-esteem issues, you know. So if you focus on that, then you're going to get more of it. But if you identify it, then we can move forward and say, how do you want to feel going forward? So some of the things is called future projection. So if you sit and close your eyes, okay, and you're someone who is not like, let me do a self-esteem, let me do a future pacing. It's called actually future pacing, but I call it future forward. The future pacing element is, we would ask questions as a coach, is what do you want to feel, hear and taste and see when you have, and then you need to fill in the blank. So so let's talk about Shannon Sharp. So when I have Shannon Sharp as my husband, Shannon, look, I put a ring on it, but that's not the ring you haven't bought me that. I bought this myself, so it's not gonna bling. This has been custom made for me, but I'm waiting for you to hook me up, bro. So what I will feel with Shannon is, he's going to be like a rock to me, in the sense of, I just feel safe. I feel like he's a kind man. He is really funny, not as funny as me, but he's really funny. He does great interviews, but because I've got a degree in journalism, I will help cultivate and I will help him with stop wearing tight leggings or whatever the hell that he's wearing. So, and what I will see is us really building a future together and an empire together. And then what I would taste, anyway, that's a whole different conversation. I'm not even going to talk about that on camera, Shannon. That's our private business. And what I will hear a man who loves me and I love him. That's it. So when you future pace, you actually create something that potentially could happen. So if I put this out in the universe that I'm going to be Sandra Sharp, that's my original name. So Shannon, so look, we're going to be S, and S. So we don't even know, we shouldn't open each other's mail unless it says Mr. or Mrs. So we won't know which S the Sharp is. So we want to make sure that when you have low self-esteem and you're feeling it, because it's not in every aspect of your life. It could be, when you walk into a room. So sometimes I do feel a little bit uncomfortable when I walk into a room I don't know anyone. So one of the things I do is walk in like I own the room. And I make sure that I look on point. My hair's on point. I feel strong. I feel healthy. I'm, as you can see, I'm always in the gym. So I'm like, pow, 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 like Xena, the warrior princess, um, or the Ghanaian princess. But I just think it's really important not to beat yourself up. So one of the other things is mirror work. So if you look in the mirror, one of the things you can do is apologize. I'm sorry that I made you feel. And you're talking to yourself. Or you can write it out and journal it. And then once you've done this, the acceptance part, I am happy and grateful for the fact I have the opportunity to change my trajectory. I'm so happy and grateful for the fact I'm going to be Shannon Sharp's wife. Oh my God. Sorry. Look, I'm a different character. I'm a different beast altogether. If he finds, listen, and I said this on my show the other day, he shot his shot at Nicole Murphy. Now, she is gorgeous, right? However, he hasn't seen me yet. So can you tag Shannon Sharp, somebody, and let him know his African bride is here, has arrived. See? Look. Imagine us, me and him doing profile shots at the wedding. That would be dope. Anyway, so, and no, I'm not crazy. Mental, depressed, I don't have any of that. I'm all right. I'm all right. But no, I just think it's really important, guys. Journal, write what you want, think about it, future pace yourself. How's the future going to feel? Is it going to, how are you going to see it? How's it going to sound to you? Does your future sound, the future's bright, the future's orange? We used to have a network called Orange. That was their tagline. So think about that. I do want to say one thing though, is I had this conversation with my the coachee I'm working with about forgiveness. Now, not everyone is angry or holding something against someone. Sometimes you just need to get it up and out your system. So I do the forgiveness letters. So let me tell you what that is. The thing is, you can forgive yourself, right? So you write all the things that have impacted you in your self-esteem issues. I've allowed this person disrespected me because, and 90% of the time, because we are feeling powerless and we haven't cultivated and empowered ourselves, we've given our power away. So then when we start taking the power back, you write all the disempowered things you did to yourself, right? This is the forgiveness letter for self. And then you make a request to whoever your spiritual entity is, God, Jesus, Muhammad, to my Muslim brothers and sisters, salam alaikum. To Muhammad, anyone, to David, whoever you're, Lash me, anybody you pray to, ask them to help you to let go of the emotion attached to lack of self-esteem. What are the emotions that you feel? Once you've written this letter, go somewhere and not in the house, because I told someone to do it and they were so excited to do it. They went to the bathroom. Please get out the house or have a completely empty space and burn the letter. Once you've done that, and this is one, I'm going to put the meditation I use on this. I'm going to put the meditation I use. Meditate on letting go of the old you. The reason being, when we experience any kind of trauma, and Gabon Mate said this very correctly, but I'm someone I'm a spiritual coach, so I totally agree, and I've experienced trauma leave my body. When you experience trauma, it sits somewhere in your body. Sometimes you might have a pain, you don't know why. When you do the work, you get it up and you push it out. That's why meditation and prayer is very important in releasing negative energy that is based off of low self-esteem issues. It's so important to all of you to be healthy in your spirit and in your body and in your mind, because you are the individual that is going to create the true life that you want when you let things go. You can't change anyone but yourself. So this isn't a video about, oh, I got low self-esteem, it's someone else's fault. No, you got low self-esteem, and that's okay. Now, what do we need to do to move through it? And as I said, sorry, I never got to garble much. It's not what happens to you, it's what happens to you in the situation, or in you in the situation. So when you're going through trauma, what happens inside during the experience is what either stays or it can kill you. You need to read Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss. Read that and read about the native Indian that had to call his spirit back. And I know other cultures, I've learned this in the last 5 years about calling my spirit back. You have to bring you back to you. And like I've said in the previous videos, I was in a organization that I wasn't myself. I don't even know the person that worked there. That's how disconnected I was from me. And imagine showing up in a way that you don't normally show up. The energies that I was around, they didn't serve me. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of thing was happening, but that wasn't the version of me that I liked. That wasn't the version of me that I expected to be in that environment. And that wasn't the version of me that I wanted to see continue in that environment. I knew that I couldn't continue. I just knew it was dead in the water. So sometimes you are not actually living out your energy. You're living out other people's energy through you. So sometimes you have to be very, very mindful when you are because I'm really sensitive. When you're sensitive, sometimes energies. If you've seen is it Mancunian Candidate where and it's got Denzel Washington where different spirits jump on people and then they start acting funny. That's not. I don't even know how to explain all what I'm saying to you, but it's not a lie. People have energy that you seem to orchestrate through your energy and your spirit, but you don't even know it's not yours. So just know sometimes the self-esteem issue is not even an issue that you created. It's an issue you were given unconsciously. So I'm the Millennial Coach. I hope those tips have been useful and I hope they've been enlightening. And we're going to talk next week. I can't even remember what it is, but just tune in, subscribe, tell your friends, comment, email me, da.themillennialcoach@gmail.com. Go to my website, themillennialcoach.com. You can find all my shows, Mixcloud, or the Facebook and whatnot. So I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter or X, I'm on Facebook. So just look for da.millennial.coach. Google it because it's one time some kid said to me when I came back from the Middle East, you should Google me. I was thinking you're about 6. What am I going to Google you? Find out that you wet your pants. But I can say at this age, Google me, you'll find my information. All right, loves, I will see you all soon. And again, shout out to Wendy Williams. We want you to come back. We need some Real Housewives talk. Phaedra's coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, everyone. She was in Married to Medicine, and she was, honestly, I really enjoyed her in that. I really, really enjoyed her energy. She was so different to how she was in Housewives. And this is what I'm saying. When different environments will channel different energies. So you have to be careful where you place yourself. Really take that into consideration because it affects your self-esteem. I am the Millennial Coach. You've been locked into the mini core, and hopefully I'll see you soon.